So today I am in Yiwu, China, and I know I'm pretty dark right now, but I want to show you the background. This is the Yiwu market, and it stretches all the way actually from down there, but all the way behind me, behind this high rise, up to all the way past the end here. And it is a massive market, and it is the biggest consumer product market in the world. If you were to go through every store in there, if you took 15 minutes for every store there, 8 hours a day, it would take you almost 6 years to get through this entire market. It is massive. We just finished up at least the training part of the Just One Dime China sourcing trip this year, and we did 4 days of intense training. I actually lead the training. I come here to train, but also to source from the market as well. And I want to share with you just a couple of the things we've done this year, why you might consider coming here, whether with Just One Dime or by yourself, the advantages, the pros, the cons, and just tips and tricks when you do travel here as a seller and how you can take advantage of it. The first thing I want to do is touch on a couple of the ways that you can actually utilize this market to your benefit. There are 4 strategies that you can really use, or 4 strategies we tend to teach, and you can choose these based on your product type, where you're at in your business, and just what you prefer. Number 1 is something called gap filler, and this is where you look on Amazon for demand that lacks supply. And the way you do that is through keyword research. So you're looking at what are customers searching for but is not there, or is not there in the exact version customers want. And you come here with that knowledge of those gaps to find your gap filler in this market. Number 2 is called PPC Tester. This one is when you come to this market and you use the benefits of lower MOQ, means you have to order less units to place an order, and also lower cost to order quick, fast, small inventory batches. You put them on Amazon and you use advertising and search term reports to gain data on how people found your product and the exact version of that product you should build out on your final product. So you might order 50 to 200 units here, test them really quickly on the market. Those are not branded or differentiated, just simple small inventory batch. Test it, see how people found your listing and what exactly they want, and that's when you make your bigger time and financial investment in the final product. But you've derived that exactly from your customer. Third, and my personal favorite one, is manufacturer hunter. This is when you come here confident on your product idea already, and you're going to come into this market and find the exact version, or you come into China just to find a difficult to source, difficult to replicate manufacturer. So you're finding a sort of hidden or secret manufacturer, or something just much harder for other sellers to source. Remember, they're all looking on those tools or Alibaba. It's one way for you to really build out your sustainable competitive advantage. But in this model, you find your exact version, or even a new version of your product, which you know is high potential, but is maybe not on Amazon yet, and you're going to be the first to sell it. And then you move with this manufacturer or trading company to actually building out that final offering and launching it on Amazon. And a quick touch on that, every store here in this market is a representative of either a trading company or a factory. Okay, so that's what they represent, and they might have a factory in another province in China that you can of course connect with to do this type of thing. The 4th strategy is probably the most fun, and this is called reverse engineer. And like the name suggests, what you're doing is reverse engineering. So as you guys know, most of the time we look at software tools, we look at what's high potential, then we go find the physical form of the product. But what about if you walked into this massive hornet's nest of products and you just went in there with an open mind to find specific versions in pretty much any niche, but you're looking for products that are just new or innovative or perhaps not on Amazon yet, and you collect, let's say, 30 ideas from here, Then you reverse engineer it. You come back to the hotel, or even when you get back home to the US or UK or wherever you live in the world, and then you evaluate those online. So you're finding the physical and then determining the online potential, which is also a very fun way, but can be overwhelming, and that's something we often ask attendees to leave till the end. Otherwise they can get a bit carried away and lost in that process. But those are our 4 major strategies. Other big things, number 1, food. If you have like a super specific diet, definitely get ready to bring some of your own food. It might seem silly, but once you're here, you'll see it can be very difficult to find Western type food. You can, of course, do the hotel food. We usually stay at the Marriott, but it's very limited, and I just do recommend bring some of your own food, especially if you have a specific diet. Secondly, I'd say don't come unprepared. There is so many products in this market. You guys want to come prepared. Please do your pre-trip research. Whether you come on the trip with us or come here alone, you want to come here with your products down. You want to make sure you've got some very, very good products to look for. You've got some redundancy built in, and you're prepared to take extra steps if you don't find your exact version in this market. Thirdly, I would say VPN. So as you guys know, big firewall here, difficult to get onto normal services, Google, YouTube, etc. So you will need a good VPN. A lot of people use ExpressVPN. Some of the hotels appear to have built-in VPN now, which is amazing. That's been amazing on this trip, but it's just something to consider, and you want to download that VPN before you get here. That's really important as well. So when you get to the airport, you can actually buy a SIM. There's a lot of vendors here selling SIMs, and you put Chinese SIM in your phone, you've already got your VPN, and you should be good to go. You can use Google Translate to translate from English to Chinese in social situations if needed. Also have WeChat installed already on your phone. You want to have WeChat ready because WhatsApp, etc. also won't work, and WeChat is very effective here. A lot of the stores, trading companies, manufacturers are going to want to speak to you via WeChat. So you're going to be able to just scan their little code, QR code, and then have them as a contact on WeChat going forward. Well guys, we're about to head back to Shanghai from Yiwu here, but let me know what you think about this. Have you come to China before? Are you interested in coming to China? Do you see value in a trip like this? If you got value from this video, please do give it a quick like for me, and consider subscribing if this is something that you're interested in. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this and see what you think, and I'd love to see you here one day as well. But you guys keep well, and I will see you in part 2.